Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new chapter of Old Man Brad. Whether you are new to the show or returning for another chapter, thank you so much for giving me a listen. If you love the show, drop me a review on your favorite podcast app or become a patron at patreon.com/oldmanbrad. So this week we are back, I guess, in the public domain space. I'll be talking about the newest film, The Ugly Stepsister, which is a different take on the Cinderella story. And boy, is it different. I'll be giving my fairly spoiler-free thoughts on that very soon. But before I dive into it, if you're in the Cincinnati area, come out to Frightful Fridays on the third Friday of the month. I'm thankful to be partnered with the Esquire to host a horror screening each month. Our screening for April, which is this week, the week this episode drops, is Lucio Fulci's The Beyond on April 18th at 10 p.m. It will be the 4K restoration, the one that just came out from Grindhouse Releasing. We will be screening that version of the film. And our screening for May on May 16th at 10 p.m. We are going to finish up our Carpenter trilogy that we started out this year with The Thing and In the Mouth of Madness. On May 16th, come out for Prince of Darkness. Come out to the Esquire and let's watch a movie together. All right, let's dive into The Ugly Stepsister.
Vem passar.
Namn?
Elvira. Hon är min styvsyster. Mamma! Jag ska få barn! Jag vill gifta mig med honom.
Prins. Ta en kikkerspärr, jenta mig.
Follow Elvira as she battles against her gorgeous stepsister in a realm where beauty reigns supreme. She resorts to extreme measures to captivate the prince amidst a ruthless competition of physical perfection. This is written and directed by Emily Bleichfeld. It stars Leah Miron, Andal Torp, Thea Sophia Lochnos, Isaac Klamroth, and many others. This is a much darker, much more twisted take on the Cinderella story. Instead of following Cinderella herself through the story, you are following one of the stepsisters. So it starts off with this woman and her daughters coming to the castle. Their mom gets married. Shortly after, they're having a dinner and the dad dies. Cinderella's dad. The evil stepmother takes over. This is where the evil stepmother starts. And they find out they didn't really have money. She was kind of marrying in for the money to kind of set themselves well off. All the while, Elvira, the stepsister, she is infatuated with the prince. She has this poetry book of the prince that she reads through all the time. She daydreams about being with the prince. Basically, like the prince kind of sweeping her off her feet and taking her as his bride. So when it comes to it, the story, the prince, there's the ball, and everybody is trying to woo the prince. But this is a much darker take on that. We're following the stepsister, like I said, and it's all about, since they don't have the money they thought they were going to have, she is, she's infatuated with the prince, but she is going to do what she has to do to change her look, to be more beautiful for him, to captivate him. And, the evil stepmom herself is kind of leading this charge where, the stepsister, she has braces. She kind of has, this curlyish hair, and they start by, think of movies like Cronenberg and recently The Substance, body horror movies where she's going to do whatever it takes. Stepmom is going to convince her to do whatever it takes to become more beautiful, to change her look, to set herself above everybody else. So there's some of the scenes in this film. There's an eyeball scene that just got me really good. The effects in this movie are crazy. Like, there's some bloody body parts that get chopped off. There are, I'm not going to spoil this, but let's just say a tapeworm is not the way to go, people. Not the way to go. It just spirals darker and darker and darker as she's trying to become very beautiful to get the prince. And then you have Cinderella, her name's Agnes, who is kind of on the opposite side. Her father just passed away. She's in love with somebody else secretly, but doesn't want to say it. And then it kind of comes that she wants to get the prince, kind of, I think, in a way to get back at them. But there are scenes that kind of set up, the story of the evil stepmom, the stepsisters, and she's invited to the ball, but the dress, something happens to the dress and how it get put back together, and the shoe, the missing slipper, and you only have till midnight to kind of run off. So the story, and it hits the beats of the Cinderella story, which I like, but it goes really dark, really extreme body horror. There are some pieces I think it probably could have gone further. In a way, I'm glad it didn't. But then there are some, like I said before, eyeball, that you're just, I don't want to say cringe, but you're like, oh, there's a nose job that had me kind of cringe a bit. But I really did enjoy this. This is, for the most part, a pretty slow burn. But it really just it steamrolls as it goes. It gets darker and darker as it goes, as the stepsister is just like, I will do anything I need to make myself more beautiful, to make myself woo the prince. And all the while, she still has the daydreams of prancing and dancing with the prince and the prince running off with her. And it's just a very well done movie. There are, a lot of these films that deal with these stories that we know, whether it's Winnie the Pooh, Mickey Mouse, Peter Pan. There's been other Cinderella stories that have been done before, which I haven't seen. Like, I think there's Cinderella's Revenge. There's Alice in Wonderlands. There's all these others, and some of them take a much darker take. It's not just bloody horror take. I like the direction that this went with the Cinderella story, where it takes it down a dark path, and that it follows one of the stepsisters as she's trying to compete with, the Cinderella, trying to beat out everybody. Overall, this is a high recommend to check out. It hit select theaters this Friday, April 18th, here in the United States. It lands, if you're overseas and you're listening to the show in the UK, next week, the 25th. It drops there. This one is a recommend to check out, especially if you're into body horror, like The Substance. It doesn't quite dig quite like The Substance gets a little more graphic, but this is subtle enough and dark enough that it lands along those same lines. Watch for The Ugly Stepsister, coming your way very soon. Well, that will do it for my ramblings on The Ugly Stepsister. And back this week, I'm back with a double feature that you can watch with The Ugly Stepsister. Go to the theater, see The Ugly Stepsister, come back, and I have a darker take on a film, a character and story that we're familiar with takes kind of a darker twist as well. I think as a double feature would play well together. And that is Dr. Jekyll, which came out last year. I did a brief episode on that one. And this stars Eddie Izzard as Dr. Jekyll and Scott Chambers, who is in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 as Christopher Robin. But this is a darker take on that story. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is already, a fairly dark story of what it is. But this one, Eddie Izzard is fantastic in the role. But you can watch Dr. Jekyll if you have the Roku channel, if you have Peacock. It might be playing in some other places. But add Dr. Jekyll to your double feature with The Ugly Stepsister. Before I head out completely, coming up May 16th and 17th is the live stream for The Cure. This is an event that I'm so happy to be a part of. It is my friend Nick. He does this. This is coming on his 9th year with podcasters, content creators, everything from all around the world come together to raise money for cancer research. This is going to be my 6th or 7th year being involved in it. But definitely go check out Livestream for The Cure. Go help out. Do what you can. I will be on May 16th at 11 p.m. We're going to play some Tubi games, something maybe Amityville inspired. May 16th, 17th, go check out Livestream for The Cure. I'll have links in the bio to where you can connect. Well, there we go. Another chapter of Old Man Brad in the books. Just make sure you subscribe to the show, and you'll never miss any chapter, any Tales from Tubi, or Versus series that is over here on Old Man Brad. But I'll be back soon with a brand new episode. Just snuggle up in that blanket, turn off the lights, because it's okay to be scared. We'll talk to you later, everybody.